Hello fellow colorists, Colour Bright Bex here. I'm just going to go through a little fine liner only tutorial with you. I was invited by Passionista Colorista to do a sort of a Christmas themed thing, and I thought, well, why not do fine liners only, because I do love my fine liners. Yeah, and they're just an underused medium. So I grabbed one of the Johanna Basford advent calendar that she's very kindly put up, that you can go online to johannabasford.com and download it. And this is just normal copier paper, nothing special, haven't resized it or anything. I've literally just downloaded it and printed it out straight away. And I've chosen this bauble to do because it's quite a good one to use to show you a few techniques that you can do with fine liners. And I will chit chat all the way through, explaining as I go, but please feel free to mute and put on your favourite Christmas song if you'd rather not listen to my dull brummy tones. Brummy being from Birmingham in the UK, where I'm originally from, although I now live in Australia and have been here for about 16 years. Anyway, at the very beginning of this video, I would have put up a little chart of what fine liners I've used. If you don't have the same fine line as me, just try and get any colours that are sort of close to it. Yeah, and we'll take it from there. I'll call out the numbers that I'm using. So this is a Tri Plus, and what we're going to do first is just do this metal part at the top and the bottom, and I'm going to use 3 different colours, a common combination, number 7, number 43 in the Tri Plus, and then the Stabilo, which is the bright yellow, which is number 44. So we're going in with number 7 first, and what we're going to do is just go on the outside and outline this top part. Now with fine liners, when you're using them, unlike pencils, it actually doesn't matter whether you're pressing hard or soft, you're going to get the same sort of colour depth. So you can be quite gentle, which is good for those people that may have problems with their hands, arthritis or something like that, because yeah, you really don't need to push on much at all, and the colour will come flooding out, which is one of the things I love about using fine liners. So we're just going to outline there and leave some place for highlights. Oh, I'm just going to do the bottom part as well. So I'm sort of colouring just on the one side to where the shadow will be, and then as you'll notice, as well as the solid colour, I've then just done a couple of dots, and what those couple of dots do, it just helps the blend to the next colour down that we're going to use, which I'm now going to come on, which is number 43 in the Tri Plus, which is like an orangey, yellowy, like a deep orange, deep yellow, like a light orange. I'm just going to go over the edge of where I use that brown colour solidly, and then again do a few dots, and on the edge of here as well, and the same here. Just go over the edge, and you see how doing those dots, some of the dots disappear slightly, and it just helps the colours to blend. And just do it on the edge here as well, and the same here. Now this top part, there isn't too much room, so I'm just going to use the solid orange, and again on the bottom do the same, go over and a few dots, and just go on the edge there. Then I'm going to go in with the lightest yellow, so the Stabilo, or out of this little combo anyway, Stabilo 44, and then I'm just going to colour on the white bits and just go over slightly, just to blend in. There we go, and that should look a little like sort of a goldy kind of metal. Right, let's go on to the bauble. Now we're going to go quite bright. I'm going to show you 2 different techniques and ways of blending. So the first one I'm going to do, it's all about shades. So I'm going to use 3 purple colours, 2 Stabilos, which is Stabilo number 55 and 59 if you have them, and then the really beautiful light violet that we have from the Tri Plus range, which is number 62. So I'm just going to use dotting technique. The technical term is pointillism. I just call them dots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right at the bottom with the darkest one, which is the Stabilo 55, the dark purple. And I'm just going to outline straight over the black first on where I want to colour. It's pressing very lightly. And then I'm going to start dotting, and I'm going to do small circles. Let me just grab a piece of paper. So when you're dotting, instead of dotting and doing like straight lines, I dot to try and get it more random. If I go really slowly, I'm actually dotting in very small circles like this, and then moving my hand across. You see the circles? And then I'm going to be going too quick, but when I'm actually going round in circles like this, and what will happen is you'll get a more random effect doing it that way. So I'm going on the bottom here, and nearest the line, I'm going to be doing a lot of dots. So it's almost like solid colour. And then, let's move that up a bit. And then as you go further away, I'm just going to put a couple of extra dark dots there. And you'll see what happens in a minute. So that's the purple done, the first one. I'm now going to go to the middle purple, this one. This is number 59. And I'm going to go not all the way down to the very edge, but sort of mid part through where I was doing the darker purple. And I'm just going to start dotting and doing my little circle technique. And then on the edges here, where I've finished with that darker purple, I'm just going to pick it up and just go over that black line with this medium purple. But don't go all the way to the top, because I'll leave the light purple for that. And then start doing the dots again in small circles. And going over where over the edge of the darker purple dots. So I've got a mix of the darker purple dots and the lighter purple dots. There we go. Then, while I've done that, I'm now going to just do a few extra darker purple dots further up. Now we're going to go in with the lightest purple, the Stabilo 62. And what I'm going to do now is first finish off the outline in this lighter purple. It's a beautiful sort of light, light lilac, I suppose you'd call it. I'm just going to outline first the rest of the line of the bauble there and just underneath. Because you would have a little bit of shadow under this line. It's going to go through the bauble. There we go. Right. Then I'm going to go in and do my dots. And this time I'm going from the line where there's more down over and into that mid-range purple, that mid-purple colour. There we go. Awesome. Right, I'm looking at that, and the only thing I would do now, so we've got a bit of a blend going on. I think the bottom, just in a few areas like here and just here on the side, need to be, put a few more dots that just need to be a little bit more dark purple. So just a little bit too much white right near the bottom. Right, there we go. That's the purple one done. So that's one way of blending, just by dotting. Can take a long time. But it's fun. It's fun. Fine liners are fun. So that's one way. And on the top half I'm going to use a slightly different technique now, and this is where it's a bit more like blending with fine liners, and we're going to use a deep red, a normal red, an orange, a yellow, and then like quite a little bit of a brighter yellow. So I've got 5 ones here. I'll call out the numbers. They'll have all been on the picture at the start of the video, which you can pause and try and sort out. So I'm going in with the Stabilo number 50, which is the deep red first. And we're going to go from the top down. And this time, instead of doing dots, we're actually going to use block colour. I'm going to take the tops of all my fine liners so they're all ready to go, of all 5. So let's go in with the dark red first. Look at that colour. It's like a red velvet colour. I love this colour. Unfortunately, Tri Plus don't do this deep kind of red. You have to get the Stabilo 0.88 fine liners. Now, Stabilo 0.88 are a beautiful set of fine liners, and the nibs are 0.4 millimeters, whereas the Tri Plus are actually my favourites, but mainly because the nib is 0.3. They are the most fine and delicate ones to use. Really great with Johanna's stuff. But I have to say, this deep red is one of my favourite colours, and you can only get it with Stabilo. So we're going with the deep red, and then we're going to go straight in now with Tri Plus red, which is a number 2. And what I'm going to do is just, well, if it's actually working, if ever you get a fine liner and it feels a bit dry, just get a scrap bit of paper and just roll the nib around. This sometimes happens to me if I've been using the fine liner with certain types of pencils. Okay, that's just not going to work, so we'll put that to one side, and we'll use the same colour red that we have in Stabilo, so the bright red, to make sure this works. Yeah, that works. Okay, I'll use that instead. Okay, bit of a switch there. So this is Stabilo number 40. So we're going in with Stabilo number 40, and I'm just going to go down a little bit and over the edge of the red. Now, depending on the fine liners and the shades you have, this is quite a nice transition between the reds. So just going over the edge and coming down a bit more, I'm probably going to be okay. If the transition isn't quite as smooth, so if the shades aren't quite as close, what we can do is go over with some dots after, but we'll do that in a minute. So now I'm going in with the orange. Let's hope it works. This is a Tri Plus number 4. Yeah, it does. So I'm going to go over twice, and I'm just going over the edge of the last colour, so that bright red, so not all the way to the top, just over the edge of that the last fine liner I've put on. And going down a bit more. Right, and now we go straight to a yellow, which is number 1 in the no, sorry, it's the Stabilo, which is number 44, which is a nice deep yellow, bright yellow, sorry. I'll just go around there. And what you'll notice with the yellow, it's not quite, there's a bigger colour difference between the orange and the yellow, so it's not quite as smooth, the transition. But don't worry, we're gonna put a few dots. Dots solve everything. We'll put a few dots in, and that will make that a bit smoother. So we'll go back to the orange now that we were using before, and we're just gonna do just a few dots along the edge where the orange meets the yellow. And all you're doing here, because you've already got the ink down, the dots are gonna not be as clean because they're going on top of those, so they're going to spread a little bit, but that's good, you want that to happen. And I'm just going to do a few dots now to make it darker at where the red meet the orange. So you're going to get the same thing, a little spread of extra ink, and it will just make the blend a bit better. There you go. Now I'm jumping in with the brightest yellow, the lightest yellow I have. which is the Tri-Plus number 1, and just colouring on the edge. And there's not too, you can, I'm hoping the camera picks it up, it is a lighter yellow than that one, but you can't, it's not too different, it's very, very slight, so there shouldn't be too much shading required there. Perfect. So the only thing I would say there is I've got a little orange dot there that's run away a bit, so let's just bring that down a little bit more so he's not on his own. Can't have a little dot on his own, can we? Right, there we go. See, and so you've got quite a smooth, so that's about, what, that's 5 fine liners gone down there, but you've got that nice smooth transition in that colour now. So that's another way of doing it. Now let's make, I hadn't totally planned this, I've just pulled out a few of my common colour combinations, but let's make this line that goes up here, 2 dark lines, and you'll see why when I get my gold gel pen out at the end. So I'm going to go with this dark red, and I'm literally just going to do a block colour of this dark deep red. And what we're going to do at the end, I'm going to get a gold gel pen and we're just going to do some dots on there. Now when I'm doing fine liners, if you use white gel pen, what you'll find is it will pick up the pigment from the pen. So if I put a white over this red, it would actually turn pink eventually. It takes 30 seconds a minute, but the white gel pen will pick it up and it turns like a light pink, and you don't really want that. So what happens with metallic when you're using a gold or a silver, let's do the same with the dark purple. I'm going to put a silver on this one. When you use the metallic gel pen against the fine liner, it doesn't soak up the ink, or it doesn't show through anyway. And so then against the light, I often use silver, and then when the when the light shines on it, it picks up when you take a photo a bit more like a white. Yeah, it looks really effective. I'll show you in a minute. So I'm purposely doing these just block and dark to be able to put the gel pen on it as well. Right, what colour haven't we used? Let's do a bit of green, turquoise. That's another favourite one of my favourite combos. So I've got here 3. I've got a dark turquoise in the Stabilo and light turquoise, and then a neon yellow in the Tri-Plus fine liners. So let's go in with the dark turquoise for the background, and I'm just going to outline around there first. I like really bright colours, so I love with fine liners the when you're colouring the flood of and depth of colour. My favourite colouring pencils are actually probably polychromos, or the ones I use the most, and I think it's because of the pigments. Right, I'm now going to go in with number 54. Sorry, that was Stabilo, the dark turquoise 51, and this is Tri-Plus 54, which is like a light turquoise. And I'm going to go to the edge and just colour over. This doesn't feel like it's working very well. Let's eventually letting out some ink. There we go. And just using the 2 shades there, the darker one around the edge to go over the black lines, and the lighter one colouring in. You get a bit of that depth just from 2. Right, so what colours should we do the balls? Maybe, well, we're going to use the neon, aren't we? So let's go from the centre out. So we're going back in with the darker turquoise, the Stabilo, from the centre. Just go around the circles. Just do a pretend one there. Kind of going to ignore the 14 because I'm just trying to show you. I'll go over that with gold. Now I'm going to get out from that darker colour with this lighter one, using bit of jagged lines. Unlike pencils, the fine liners will keep, they're really good for sort of embellishing and detail. They'll keep the lines. So they're really good if you've coloured a picture in and you need some grass. You can do a base layer with the pencils, and then go in with sort of a darker green with a fine liner and do lots of sort of strands of glass by doing strokes, a bit like this now where I'm doing lines as I'm going out. Yeah, it looks really good. And I'm just going over that dark turquoise just to soften it where it meets the lighter one. Make sure I get some definite lines. Now I'm going to go in with the number 101, which is the neon yellow. I'm going to start from the outside and go in, because what this does, when it's against the white, it stays white, but as it touches the light turquoise, it kind of goes a beautiful kind of greeny kind of colour. Look at that. Sort of reminds me of an eyeball, actually, you know, an iris, a coloured iris. So I'm not going all the way to the centre. I'm starting at the outside and I'm allowing the neon yellow to fill in the white, but then also go over some, but not all of the turquoise, medium turquoise, and it kind of turns that slightly green. So you've got that smooth transition then from the sort of neon yellow to the green to the mid turquoise to the dark turquoise in the centre. There we go. It's looking good, very rainbowy. So what colour are we going to do on the top here? Let's go, because we've got the dark purple here, let's go for a dark purple at the top, and we could maybe attack it with some gold dots at some point. So let's just do block colour. So the colours I've used here, which is colours kind of gone almost like a rainbowy, purple, red, orange, yellow, sort of green. Purposely not used any blue because I'm going to do that right for the outside. That's why there's no blue. Just slowly touch that in. Lovely. And then I'm actually going to do the purple just in the centre. We're going to go over gold dots in a second. Let's just do this. Purple seems to be the carrying through. Right, so there we go. Now let's attack it with a pen. I'm going to attack some with this gold. I use just a uni ball Signo. You can get it from most stationaries. I have a gold one and a silver one that I can't live without. So let's do some gold dots. So first of all, let's go on the red and literally just dot as we go across. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. I'll move the light at some point, so hopefully you'll be able to see how that kind of catches the light. And then also let's do, we'll do alternate golds and silver on the middle, and then let's do some gold dots here. So 3, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Right, let's do silver against the purple on the bottom. So this is again the Uniball Signo, but just the silver. And I'm just going to do little dots, and this is the one actually in photographs and so on sort of picks up like a white. I'll do silver on there. And I think that's it. I don't think we need any more at the moment, actually, to be fair. Okay. What I am going to do though is go back to the gold one. I'm just going to make these little diamonds that Johanna has given us. just little gold bits. So I'm just colouring it in gold. Gel pens, you can use glittery gel pens maybe as well if you've got them for that part. And you could quite easy now, I'm not going to, but you could sort of dot along the black lines, go dot mad actually with the metallic ones, go really crazy. Right then, so outside, what are we going to do outside? Well, the two colours I haven't really used is the blue and pink, which I've sort of saved for the outside. So I've got two blues here. I've got a Stabilo mid blue and then just a light blue in the Tri Plus. So let's go crazy with some dots. So what we're going to do here is a bit of blue. I am just going to do dots, but I'm going to show you here how you can kind of create a bit of shadow, a bit like this here, but just you know, on an outside bit. So I'm going to go near the edge of the bauble, and that's where the darker colour dots are going to be. And just near the top there, do it on the top. Then go in with the lighter one. So that was with the Stabilo number 32. I'm now going in with the Tri Plus 301, a lighter blue. So basically just a medium and a light blue. And as well as using the lighter blue, I'm actually not doing as many dots either. I'm taking it out. Again, sort of doing that circle so I get, helps with the randomness. If, depending on the dots and the nib that you have, if you hold your pencil upright, I can't really show you here, but I've got mine at 45-degree angle because my phone's directly over it, so I can't hold it upright. But if your dots are a little bit too big for you, if you hold it upright and just dot with the very end very lightly, you can get much smaller dots. Okay, hopefully you can start to see a bit of that there where you get shadow. I'm going back in with the medium one now, and just to do a few more to take them out to blend that a little bit better. I'm just sort of illustrating this. I'll do some around here. You can also go in with the silver dot pen, or if you wanted to, and do some dots in there as well. Let's go back with the light blue. I've actually, in preparation, hand drawn like a border around number 22, which is like a little bird, and it's kind of encroached on this bauble here, so I apologise for that. That's what those black lines are. Try and ignore them. I've enjoyed doing the, it's a very busy time of year. I hope everyone's having after an awful 2020, it's good that the year's coming to an end, but I hope you're all having happy holidays, a festive time, but it is a busy time of the year. And so these little pictures, they only take, you know, if you're not trying to explain while you're doing it, you're just doing it, 20 minutes maybe, 15-20 minutes to colour. Yeah, have kept me colouring every day, which I like to do. Colouring for me is very much about relaxing. It's almost like a form of meditation in some ways for me. So yeah, I do like to colour every day to quiet my mind after I work full time, and I get home, chill out, sort out dinner and everything for the boys and my husband, have a shower and get changed, and I can sit down on my settee on my sofa and then do some colouring. I've just gone around those little diamonds just to make them stand out a little bit more, and then I'm just going to do a few more blue dots. So I've done blue on this side just to show you the two colours. So do a darker one near the edge, and you can go over and make that stand out more. And then I'm just going to use two pinks to show you for pinks that I like using. So this is number 61 in the Tri Plus, and the light bright pink is number 56. So let's pick some of that colour up here. As fine liners go, if you haven't got any and you thought, oh, I might give that a go, yeah, you can buy, any fine liners will do just for a start. These are my favourite, the two I've mentioned here, the Tri Plus and the Stabilo, but you can get lots of different ones. Shuttle Art do a pack of 100, some really good colour variations. The nibs aren't as consistent, so you won't always get, the same kind of ink flow. But yeah, for actual colours, they're pretty good. So that's Shuttle Art. Arteza, I've reviewed fairly recently as well, and I was quite impressed with those. Again, the nibs, because a couple of the nibs on a couple of the colours weren't as good, quite as good, or they didn't lay the colour down quite as well. They're a bit scratchy. But to be honest, especially if you think, no, I'm going to use a lot of the dotting technique rather than the solid colour blending technique, then yeah, that doesn't actually matter so much. So I've gone in with the darker pink here. I meant to do that with lighter. Well, there's no mistakes, there's no rights and wrongs when you're colouring, there's just happy accidents. I don't like to do plans and yeah, plan too much. Just go with the flow. Go with the flow and see what happens. It's all beautiful. I love it. I've been loving seeing all the pictures on Instagram, all the Christmassy pictures. It does make me feel more Christmassy. Right, I'm going to go in now with the Stabilo lighter pink. Oh, that's very bright. Might go right over with that into the blue. Why not? Not quite as many. I'm trying to make the dots, that's sort of less of them, so it's thins out a bit. I quite like where the pink has merged with the blue there, so I might take that round to here a little bit, because when I've gone directly on, some of them kind of almost turns purple. That's kind of cool. Okay, see, happy accidents. So let's take that pink up a little bit more. Why not do a few more? Hope you're not just getting a big one of my hand here. I hope this actually, move it over slightly, I hope this is captured everything. Nearly done. You could do whatever here, you could put any colours. We didn't use much greens, so you could put some greens in. You can now go in and do a few gold bits and pieces. Yeah, looks kind of like confetti or something, doesn't it? Anyway, I think that's kind of finished for now. So the only other thing we should probably do is make the 14 stand out a little bit. So I might go over that with a bit of gold. Well, maybe not. Well, it's okay. So there we go. That's the bauble. If I move it slightly, can you see where the light? Oh, there you go. See how the light picks up the gel pen, and the silver almost looks white. Yeah, it's very effective. See that? Oh, good. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and it's give you a little bit of food for thought using fine liners. Happy holidays to everybody. Thank you for watching. If you've made the full nearly 35 minutes, and yeah, check me out, Colour Bright Bex And thank you, Isabel, Passionista Colorista, for asking me to join in this colouring calendar. It's been fun. See you guys. Bye.